Good afternoon, this is Mac Lacey. I'm at the Travel South Showcase in Charleston, West Virginia, and I'm speaking with AnnetteThompson. Annette is a professional travel writer and is the president-elect of the Society of American Travel Writers. And Annette, everybody would like to be a travel writer. It's glamorous. You travel the world, you get paid to see things and taste things, but I'm going to guess it's not quite that easy.
Well, it is the job that everybody thinks they can do.
Right.
And it is a fabulous job. I won't deny it. I've said it's the world's best job for a really long time, but I'm not sure everybody is willing to keep the hours and the days that I keep. The last 3 years I've been on the road 200 nights a year. Being gone that much means I have to work on the road, so I'm sitting in hotel rooms, writing, trying to get internet access in places where it's fluky, trying to get interviews with people, trying to pull things together. You spend weeks planning it and making calls and sending emails and buying tickets and all that kind of stuff, and you get someplace and you think you've got it, and then when you're trying to get your interviews together, everything can fall apart. And you have to go back, and that's a huge challenge to a travel writer. So it's it's a fun job, it's an intriguing job. Yes, I get to see the world, and I love that.
Yeah,
but it's a very tiring job as well.
Well, 200 nights a year away from home, that might knock a few people out.
I think so.
Yeah, it would. Let's explain to our viewers what the Society of American Travel Writers is. You're the president-elect. What is that organization, and what is its mission?
Okay, we are a 59-year-old organization. It was first formed by editors of major newspapers throughout the U.S. and Canada that wanted to have like-minded people that they could share their experience with, the ups and downs of being editors. And as it has grown since the 50s, the organization has taken on a lot of freelance journalists as well. And we're all sorts of travel writers. That doesn't mean all we do is write. We take photographs, we do videography, we blog, we do things that I can't even explain because we've got young members who are out there on the cutting edge of storytelling.
It's changed dramatically.
It changes dramatically, and it changes every year, and every 6 months somebody's got a new way to get the story of travel out there. Because that's one of the missions of SATW, a society, is to promote responsible tourism. We want people to get out and experience and learn about other places. And culture changes from one town to the next. It doesn't have to be from one country to the next. And travel writers try and tell that story on a local and on a global scale.
Would you say typically, if you had a half a dozen travel writers in your town or in your area, would they all come out of there with entirely different stories? I mean, how much would a different story evolve for each writer?
I think that's a really good question. Just as readers, we get different things from what we read. The writer brings a different set of skills and a different perspective to it. I tend to like to write about food, and I like to write about adventure, and I like to write from a middle-aged woman's point of view. A colleague of mine may want to write from a very different point of view. And so, yeah, we'll come to a place and we'll all have different ideas, and we'll see. We may be looking at the same person and getting some of the same quotes, but we're going to use them differently because our stories all come from different perspectives. All
right, and we're in the South. We're at Travel South Showcase. Why don't you talk to me a little bit about 2 or 3 of your favorite places in the South?
Okay, well, I love the South. I've made a career out of writing about the South. But what I love most about the South are the people and what we do with our hometowns. We've got great big cities, don't get me wrong, but I love the small cities and how they have evolved, especially over the last decade or two. Charleston, West Virginia. Who knew that a town this size could have as much going for it as it does? Look at Greenville, South Carolina, that took a river that used to power the mills, and they opened it up, turned it into a waterfall, and now they have this street that runs through there that feels like Paris with cafes in the evenings. It's a terrific town to go to. Think about Bentonville, Arkansas, a teeny-tiny little bitty town up in the corner, northwest corner of Arkansas, has built a world-class museum there. They now have one of the edgiest, coolest hotels in the U.S., 21C sitting there.
Right.
They've got a vibrant food scene. There's people coming in and redoing all those houses, and they've turned a wide spot in the road that used to be big enough for the Walmart trucks to come in and out of into a Mayberry meet Paris type of setting. It's fabulous what people are doing in small towns.
Well, I am so glad to hear you say that, because I know that's one of the things, for instance, that Travel South USA works so hard on. There's so many off the beaten path destinations and small towns with great stories to tell. It's great to hear that a travel writer of your distinction really grasps that and enjoys that.
Thank you.
It's been my pleasure to have Annette Thompson with me. We're at the Travel South Showcase in Charleston, West Virginia.